Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Coming up at 10:01, it is 39 degrees. A wind advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight until 7 a.m. Thursday morning for all of southeast Wisconsin for wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Today, rain and storms likely and breezy, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky now says he plans to speak with President Donald Trump today after Trump spoke yesterday with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
President Trump is speaking to Ukraine's President Zelensky this morning, their first conversation since their explosive meeting in the Oval Office at the end of February. Trump administration officials met last week with Zelensky in Saudi Arabia and negotiated a 30-day ceasefire, but Russia has not agreed to it. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz says he'll be speaking with his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts today, and a delegation from the U.S. will travel to Saudi Arabia this weekend to continue conversations with the Russians to try to reach a ceasefire agreement. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Decision Wisconsin, the two candidates for Wisconsin's open state Supreme Court seat fielding questions from WTMJ's Political Power Hour.
Among those questions, how each candidate can stay beholden to law and order when donations to campaigns have already set judicial election records and could approach $100 million by April 1st. Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
It doesn't matter whether you are someone who supported my opponent or someone who supported me. You get the same standard in my court.
Dane County Judge Susan Crawford.
I've told anyone who is interested in my race that I welcome their support, but they have to know that they're supporting a fair, impartial judge.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A bar in West Allis has lost its liquor license, and the owner is now facing a defamation lawsuit, all stemming from a one-star Google review. Bryn Dutel of Onalaska, Wisconsin, alleges that the owner of the Drunk Uncle, Neil Stefik, repeatedly kissed her friend and offered her a job. The following day, Dutel posted a one-star review online, which she says led to salacious response from Stefik. The lawsuit also accuses Stefik of making false online comments alleging Dutel sexually assaulted a Drunk Uncle employee. Stefik has 45 days to respond to the defamation lawsuit. In Madison,
there are 18 ayes, 14 noes, and the bill is concurred in.
A bill that would undo an overhaul of how Wisconsin measures academic achievement has been sent to Governor Evers' desk. The bill would require the State Department of Public Instruction to overhaul its state report cards to match how they measured academic achievement before changes were made last year. While it's unclear whether Governor Evers will sign the legislation, he has criticized the process State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly took to change the report cards. 3 months after a school shooting rocked the community, Abundant Life Christian School in Madison is 2 wins away from a state title in boys basketball.
The message from head coach Mike Thies to his team before the season was to be resilient.
When you say something like that, you have no idea something of that magnitude is going to happen.
Abundant Life shut down for a period of about 4 weeks. The team resumed its schedule following Christmas break.
It was really hard to coach. It was really hard for the players to even play because it's just seemed so unimportant at the time.
But the team found its stride. The community rallied. And now the Challengers are 2 wins away from a state title.
It's like a fairy tale.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Abundant Life will play Sheboygan Lutheran Friday morning in the semifinals of Division 5. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. Your Dow is up 238 points to 41,819. S&P 500 is up 30 to 5,645, and the Nasdaq is up 124 points to 17,628. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:04.
Your stress-free spring break trip starts in your driveway with Go Right Way, Wisconsin's largest chauffeured fleet. Start your vacation as soon as you leave your house by letting Go Right Way handle your rides to and from Mitchell Field or O'Hare. Luggage? Go Right Way has it. Traffic? Go Right Way handles it. Parking hassles? You won't miss them. Go Right Way's professional, on-time chauffeurs are background checked and their vehicles are premium and meticulously cleaned. Your journey starts with a ride you can trust. Book your ride today at GoRightWay.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here, because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is, when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks got taken down by the Warriors 104-93 in San Francisco. They visit the Lakers tomorrow night. The NCAA men's basketball tournament begins for Wisconsin tomorrow. The Badgers are the third seed in the East region and battle number 14 Montana. Marquette is number 7 in the South and tips off against 10th seeded New Mexico Friday night. Badger sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. And the Brewers got crushed by the Mariners 9-3 in spring training baseball. Milwaukee will square off against the White Sox this afternoon. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. One major incident to report. 894 north, about a half mile beyond 43 north. The center lane is blocked due to a crash, but the big issue are the slowdowns. They start at 84th Street to the east and Layton Avenue to the west heading into that Hale interchange, so be careful in that area. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A wind advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight until 7 a.m. Thursday morning for all of southeastern Wisconsin for those wind gusts moving up to 45 miles an hour. Tonight, rain and snow, breezy and up to potentially 2 inches of that snow, a low of 29. For your Thursday, a chance of snow early, breezy, and then the clouds will clear, high of 41. Friday, increasing clouds and an isolated shower late, a high of 54. Saturday, partly cloudy and cooler, a high of 38. And for your Sunday, a chance of a mix and a high of 42. Right now in Madison, it's 38. In Waukesha, it's 42. In Green Bay, it's 39. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 39 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Oricon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee, whatever you're doing this morning. Hope you got there safely. Big day ahead for sure. So health and travel are so very important in the business world. Obviously, you need healthy employees to power success, but climate and even some seasonal changes can have big impact on businesses. We're going to explore kind of the coming very soon seasonal allergy season and its impact on business, what to know, how to combat it, and then we're going to explore Great Lakes travel. How's that for business diversity here on the Upswing? You got some seasonal allergies, you have some seasonal travel, whole lot of impact all around. First, I saw this morning. I need to stay on top of the ever-evolving, changing AI scene. Yum Brands and NVIDIA are teaming up to bring artificial intelligence to its restaurants. So Yum owns and franchises over 61,000 restaurants across the country, Taco Bell's, KFC's, Pizza Hut. They said yesterday that with a collaboration with NVIDIA, it's going to allow them to roll out AI ordering through drive-thrus, NVIDIA-powered computer vision, and restaurant performance assessment fueled by AI. It's all about making that drive-thru experience more efficient and probably a bit more cost-effective on the restaurant side. Obviously, fast food chains have been testing AI in drive-thrus for a while, but really drilling down to get accuracy of order, using AI to figure out what and who to schedule, and then looking at AI ordering and how to best order the supplies you need. It all works together. NVIDIA and Yum Brands are kind of taking that relationship to the next step. As I said, summer on our mind today. That means not only seasonal allergies. I have a secret weapon that I want to talk about, but I need to talk to a medical doctor about this. I am not a medical doctor, but I have a drug-free, about $8 solution that works really well for me. But we're going to talk to a medical doctor about what this solution looks like and whether it's good for you. And then in 2025, Great Lakes Cruises are projected to welcome more than 22,000 passengers, 10% increase from 2024. We're going to talk with Lauren Bennett McKinney, who is the director at Explore Minnesota. She's also the board chair of Great Lakes USA. But first, as we do each and every morning, I got a couple things you need to know about. Let's go to Up.
Now it's time for the Two Up on the Upswing.
First up, the Facebook Tell-All book is available. Well, it's still available. The editor-at-large at Wired.com, Stephen Livy, might have summarized this perfectly. He said, "Please pause for a moment here to savor the irony. Meta, the company that recently announced an end to its fact-checking in posts seen by potentially millions of people, is now griping that an author didn't fact-check with them." Here's the story. Sarah Lynn Williams is a former global policy director at Facebook. Last week, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, won an emergency ruling from an arbiter to stop her from promoting or distributing her new book, Careless People. They said that it violates a non-disparagement clause in her severance agreement. But the book is a really interesting look into her time as a governmental executive at Facebook. I'm about 60 pages into it. It's really well written. It's funny, even a bit dark at times. But if you're interested in the origins of Facebook, I highly recommend you find the book. The author is a former New Zealand diplomat. She spent more than 6 years serving as Facebook's liaison to many foreign leaders before she was let go in 2017. The opening story is amazing. It's about a shark attack. I'm just going to leave it there. Put it on your to-read list. $16.99 if you're buying it on Apple. You're buying it on Amazon. It was about $23.09. Next up, GMF, FTW for the win. The Greater Milwaukee Foundation has issued $800,000 in affordable capital, fueled by a combination of donor generosity, semi-public investment, and investment capital. The Greater Milwaukee Foundation recently provided $800,000 in new small business loans to enterprises all through the region. The investment is going to support 16 local businesses with a matching grant for $300,000 that was awarded to the foundation through the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation's Capital Catalyst program. There are 13 full-time jobs and 27 part-time jobs involved in these companies, from Milwaukee to Burlington to Menominee Falls, West Dallas, and more. Kudos to the Greater Milwaukee Foundation for continuing to build our region's economy. When we come back, we're going to dive into seasonal allergies. I got questions. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
So close you can smell the rubber on their shoes. Okay, maybe not that close, but as close as you can get. Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Here's a pass inside to Giannis. Giannis guides it through as he took the feed from Lillard, his second assist to Giannis.
It's Bucks Insiders every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Founded by ventures, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank, they've been doing banking differently since 1896. Your financing requests, you don't have to wait weeks. You can wait days as your relationship with your business banker grows daily. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they always get the job done together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Get prepped and ready for a lush lawn this season with great deals at Fleet Farm. Save $5 on all Scott's Sun and Shade grass seed in convenient 3, 7, and 20-pound bags. Scott's Turf Builder Crabgrass Preventer with lawn food is just $69.99 after rebate. Plus, Field and Forest denim jeans for men, perfect for yard work, are priced right at $9.99 and up. Stock up on all your seasonal lawn and garden supplies at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
IndyCar racing returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park on August 23rd and 24th for the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend. Secure your seats in the grandstands for the best views of all the action. Plus, we've pulled out all the stops with incredible food and live entertainment in the epic free fan zone. Race tickets are on sale now at wistatefair.com. Get ready because IndyCar is back with the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 August 23rd and 24th.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Dr. Monika Vasudev is an allergist with Aurora Healthcare. She joins us on the phone this morning. Doctor, how's your day going this morning?
Great, Jeff. Good morning. Thank you for having me on the Upswing.
Of course. So I wanted to dive into the coming very soon seasonal allergy season. When does the season typically begin in the Midwest, and how long does it last?
Oh, great question. So we are definitely on the beginning of the season. It is in the Midwest, typically mid-March. That's now. And the first set of pollens that come up at this time are tree pollens. And this season lasts usually until the end of May.
Okay, so the main things we have to look out for in terms of the main allergens in the Midwest, is it tree pollens? Does it change in late spring, early summer, and then late summer and fall? Kind of walk us through the allergens to be aware of.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So in the Midwest, we have the tree pollen that starts now. That goes until the end of May, as I said earlier. We then have grass pollens that start in May and typically around July. We have weeds that occur in June, July, and August. And then a big culprit is the ragweed, which begins mid-August and will continue until the first hard frost. But in addition to the pollens, we also have molds that are indoor and outdoor. And the molds also occur spring through fall.
Okay. So what are the common symptoms then? It seems, sometimes it's hard to know, like, hey, do I go to work? Is this a cold? Is it allergies? Just walk us through from a patient standpoint. When somebody comes in and wants an evaluation, hey, is this seasonal allergies or is it something else? How do I know?
So, yeah, let me break that up into the two parts. So the first is, what are your symptoms, or what that you're feeling during pollen seasons, or how do you know you have allergies? So you could have itchy, watery eyes, a stuffy nose, runny nose, itchy nose, postnasal drip, the fluid going down the back of your throat. For some, it can trigger asthma symptoms like cough, wheeze, shortness of breath, and chest tightness.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you know if that was an allergy versus a cold is a great question, because there's a lot of overlap between both. With a cold, you might also have other viral symptoms like body ache, a fever. There might be other people that are sniffling at home at the same time as you. And those symptoms will go away in a couple of weeks. You might also have like mucus. You might have mucus that's yellow-green in color, versus allergies, which can last for weeks to months. It can happen in a pattern that you notice that every spring or every fall that you're having these prolonged symptoms. So it kind of is a little bit of guesswork and looking back as to how you felt at different times that can help. But ultimately, if you really want to know what you're allergic to or if you have allergies, there are blood tests and skin testing that can be done to help determine that for you.
So how do we, as we get into the peak allergy season here, reduce our exposure to allergens? If we're in the office all day or if we're at home, are there certain things in terms of maybe keeping windows closed or what we're wearing outside? Kind of walk us through that prevention a little bit, please.
Oh, definitely. I want to start off by saying is that we all deserve spring in Wisconsin.
That is good. I endorse that.
We want to enjoy the outdoors. But this is what I'm going to say is just to kind of make sure that you feel better in that season. So if the pollen counts are high or you feel like the allergens are triggering you to not feel well, is to minimize exposure to those pollens. And how do we do that? One is we stay indoors. We keep the windows closed. We turn on the air conditioning. If we do go outdoors, then we come back in, take a shower, wash our hair, change our clothes, minimize the amount of pollens that's on us as we come home. Also understanding time of day. If it's in the morning before the dew dries, the pollen's being trapped in the dew and it's heavier, it's not as airborne. So if you're out in the morning, then you might have less pollen exposure than later in the day when the dew is dry, the pollen then becomes airborne, you're breathing more in. Washing your hands, making sure you're not rubbing your eyes and introducing pollens that are on your hands to your eyes, things like that are just small things that can help you feel better in this season.
Dr. Monika Vasudev is with Aurora Healthcare. When we come back, Doctor, I have a secret weapon, I think, at least that works for me really well. I want to run this idea past you. You're listening to The Upswing. This is WTMJ.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News each weekday from 11 to 1.
Bucks President Peter Feigin joins us live here in the studio right now.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty by listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
What you're seeing now is like the reality of, playing a season together, kind of, getting to know each other.
Powered by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Don't forget, take us with you wherever you go. We'd love to have you with us.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes and is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Welcome back to The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. The seasonal allergy season is upon us. I want to keep you safe and provide some opportunity for you to what is a cost-effective way maybe keep those nasal passages open so that you can do what you need to do each and every day? Dr. Monika Vasudev, an allergist with Aurora Healthcare, joins us. Doctor, again, I appreciate your time. So I have what I like to think is a bit of a secret weapon, and I use it every day, several times a day, even in non-allergy season. Drug-free, no side effects. I think it's a bit of a miracle drug. It's like $7.99 for 4.5 ounces. Those nasal saline solutions, just a little nasal mist in the morning, maybe in the afternoon and evening. It just, I don't know. Is this something that you would recommend each and every day for everyone? Because it totally works for me, and I want to just know, is it just like that I've taught myself to believe it's true?
Jeff, I think that is fantastic that you have found the secret weapon. We are 100% behind you when it comes to this weapon. So a saline rinse is like a mini shower for your nose. It clears out all the pollens, the dust, anything that might be irritating your nose. In addition, it also will clear out your viruses and your bacteria and anything that might make you be feeling well, like a sinus infection. It's very simple. It's stuff that you can buy, but you can also make it at home. You can use a sinus rinse bottle, or you can use an irrigation system that, again, you can get from any pharmacy. And you can even make the solution if you don't have the pre-mixed packets for you. And what you can do is you can take a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher or pickling salt that's iodine-free, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda.
Okay.
And you take 8 ounces of warm distilled water. Sometimes tap water is not safe, but in most cases it can be. But if you mix this all up and you use it the way that you have used it, it actually is a drug-free way. It's a cost-effective way, and it is a very effective way of treating any of your symptoms. Using it even before nasal sprays, if you use nasal sprays, makes your nasal spray work better. It makes you feel less stuffy because it takes away all the things that can block the air passage. And it is a fantastic way to address allergies. So congratulations for finding such a...
Thank you for fulfilling my self-diagnosis. I appreciate it. So what are some of the other treatments available for seasonal allergies, like long-term and short-term?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I always like to think of allergy treatment tailored to the seasons that make you feel unwell, so you don't feel that you have to be committed to taking these medicines all the time, unless, of course, you have a cat at home, you're allergic to your cat. There's 3 types. You have nasal sprays, you have antihistamine tablets or allergy tablets, and then you also have eye drops. In the nose sprays, you have 2 types of nose sprays. You have the steroid nose sprays and the antihistamine nose sprays. Again, these are all available over the counter. The steroid nose sprays are effective if they've been used 2 weeks or longer, and that is actually the mainstay, the best way, the single best medication to take for allergies rather than the allergy tablets, because allergies most commonly make people feel tired because they don't get good quality sleep, they feel stuffy, and also the allergy tablets can also make you tired. So the symptoms and the treatment are both making you tired. But if you do the nasal spray, also with the saline rinses that you talked about, you're opening up the nasal passages so that you get better oxygenated air, you're sleeping better, you get restful sleep, and that's actually the best treatment. Use the tablets just to kind of rescue you when you know that symptoms are really bad, or you're going somewhere where the pollen counts are going to be high. And then the eye drops are to be used as needed.
Okay.
A lot of products over the counter contain multiple medications, and not all of them are safe, especially some of the nasal sprays that are marketed as allergy sprays. Better to talk to your clinician, your provider, your doctor, your medical team to see what is safe for you based on what works. And that actually is, if I may, a good reason to see, your doctor or or an allergist to be able to figure out what medicines to use when and to see if they are safe or not, even if they're available over the counter.
I truly appreciate your time this morning, Doctor. And that's really what we wanted to do. We want to make sure that people are able to go to work, go to school, and just are productive and kind of living their best lives, even with kind of the allergy attacks that can come, because the pollen counts are getting a little higher, especially on the warm, dry, windy days, early in the morning, rain, and climate change can continue to affect everything that is in our environment. So I appreciate your time this morning, Dr. Monica Vasudev from Aurora Healthcare. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Jeff.
Cruise the Great Lakes and Great Lakes USA, ramping up the summer travel season. We'll explore it from a Minnesota lens, from a Canada versus USA lens, and more. That's next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News is next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump on a call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky says Russia's promise not to attack Ukraine's energy infrastructure is at odds with reality. He says there was an overnight barrage of drone strikes across his country. The UN says one of its staffers has been killed in Gaza. This as Israel resumes airstrikes. The IDF also beginning ground operations. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Tel Aviv.
Since dawn on Tuesday, when Israel targeted some 80 targets across Gaza, we know that well over 400 people have been killed. We know that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of additional people were injured. We know that at least 130 children were killed as a result of these strikes. So really the severity of these strikes, the surprise nature in which they occurred, I think it took a lot of people by surprise.
A convicted killer in Louisiana executed last night using nitrogen gas, which officials there say they plan to continue using. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:31. I'm Tiff Pua. Plans are moving forward for the Buc-ee's gas station in Oak Creek. The Oak Creek Common Council voted 5-1 on Tuesday to rezone the proposed property for the Buc-ee's development project. But residents voiced concerns about the location, increased traffic patterns, and 24-hour light pollution and gas fumes that would impact not only residents, but also farm animals. The Oak Creek Buc-ee's is slated to open in 2027. Naming the final 4 candidates to lead the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. They include Thomas Gibson of UW-Stevens Point, Carol Kim of the University of Albany in New York, Alan Klotchke from UWM, and Nicole Parsons-Pollard from Georgia State University. The chancellor candidates will participate in public forums starting next week. And a 720-acre wildfire in Green Lake County is now fully contained. The Big Island fire broke out at White River Marsh State Wildfire Area around 4:30 on Monday and was burned on state and private lands. 6 homes were evacuated and saved, along with 12 outbuildings. So far, there have been no injuries reported. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but the DNR says that there are no approved prescribed burns for that area. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. Your Dow is up 245 points to 41,826. The Nasdaq is up 170 points to 17,674, and your S&P 500 is up 38 points to 5,653. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Just 2 issues to report. There's a crash at 894 North at Howard Avenue. Now, the cars are now off to the right shoulder, but the issue is the slowdowns from that crash that go all the way back to 84th Street to the east. Traffic is moving. It's just really slow. Compounding that on 894 East at the ramp at Loomis, the right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle, so it's just slow moving through that entire area. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A wind advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight until 7 a.m. Thursday morning for all of southeast Wisconsin for wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Tonight, rain turns to snow, freezing up to potentially 2 inches for us, a low of 29. For your Thursday, there's a chance of snow early, then breezy with clearing skies, a high of 41. For your Friday, increasing clouds with an isolated shower late, a high of 54. Saturday, partly cloudy and cooler with a high of 38. And Sunday, a chance of a mix and a high of 42. Right now in Wales, it's 42. In Kewaskum, it's 42. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 40 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:34.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
The Mind Chef's Wednesday all-you-can-eat Lenten fish fry is $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in today for your $7.99 Wednesday fish fry. That's amazing. MindChefRestaurant.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Today, leaders from Cruise the Great Lakes and Great Lakes USA held a big event at Discovery World just outside downtown Milwaukee on beautiful Lake Michigan. Representatives from the organization, state and local officials discussed the 2025 cruising and tourism season and the region's continued investment in making sure that it's desirable for cruise ships, but also that all the ports are healthy and ready to take on an additional tourism, I don't want to say burden, but an additional tourism economic impact, because that's what tourism is all about. Lauren Bennett McGinty is the director of Explore Minnesota. She's also the board chair for Great Lakes USA, a regional tourism consortium that's made up of the Great Lakes states and provinces. She's in Milwaukee today, and she's in studio with us right now. Lauren, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first, I want to talk a little bit about Wisconsin and Minnesota. And from your lens there with tourism, you've had some good impact around tax incentives for movies and TV production. And in our governor's budget for 2025 to 2027, we're looking for companies to be able to receive 25% of wages and salaries that it pays to Wisconsin employees for services related to filming and broadcasting as a non-refundable tax credit. What's the impact been in Minnesota with TV and movie production?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been pretty big. In the 90s was really our golden time. Of course, we had a lot of really great films done in Minnesota, like Fargo or the Mighty Ducks series. But lately, we've had, since our tax incentive went into place in 2021, we've had 14 films made in Minnesota, all meeting the minimum threshold for our tax credit program. And we continue to grow that every single day. So what we're doing right now, since our film program was just moved under Explore Minnesota at the state back in July of last year, we've started doing more marketing campaigns around it and making sure that we're kind of promoting Minnesota as a great place to film.
That's good. That's good. Well, we're going to continue to advocate for that in Wisconsin here on the show, because I think it's really important to, not only collaborate with Minnesota, but just to bring more spotlight to all the good in the greater Midwest. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing with the Great Lakes as well. I want to have you talk a bit about the event today and the impact on Great Lakes tourism that not only the cruise ships, but all the port communities in the Great Lakes deliver in the summer. Let's kind of first look from an airfare and cruise point. I saw that Delta is launching flights from Dublin to Detroit. Aer Lingus is starting direct flights to Indianapolis beginning in May. How does the Great Lakes USA plan to capitalize on these new international connections? Because I think, at least, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to ask you, are the people taking these cruises mainly international travels?
So that's a great question, and it depends on the cruise line, actually. Okay. So some cruise lines are much more focused on American travelers, and Cruise of the Great Lakes, the sort of partner organization to Great Lakes USA, focuses on how are we sort of advocating for cruising the Great Lakes and marketing it both domestically and internationally. Viking Cruises, for example, has a huge international footprint, so they tend to get more international travelers. And so for us, being able to capitalize on new routes and new cities is always good, because it has more opportunities for a starting place and more itineraries.
Okay. What are some of the strategies that you're using to encourage tourism to kind of the lesser known attractions and neighborhoods in the Great Lakes?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think one of the best parts about the Great Lakes is that we have so many lesser known places.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of a key component of the work we're doing is trying to raise awareness of our region. And so being able to put stops along the lake and have people kind of see it for the first time has been really fun. I think, too, one of the nice things about the cruising side is you get to go on those shore excursions. And what we've heard is people love being able to see parts of the country they didn't really know existed, but also that they get greeted with some of that really beautiful Midwest hospitality that we're all known for.
Yeah, I mean, is that, and also kind of a creative challenge, too, because if you have lesser known destinations, does it require more marketing spend to amplify those?
It does. And I think partially what we have to do, especially in the Great Lakes region, is focus around some of the bigger cities and branch off from there. So you get to get people to fly into places like Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Detroit. And then from there, you kind of build those itineraries around the lakes and kind of talk about some of those key places that you can get to via car. And then, of course, as you're traveling, you get fun stops along the way.
Yeah. Lauren Bennett McKinney joins us from Explore Minnesota and Great Lakes USA. When we come back, we'll talk a bit about the Canadian border and its impact on our wonderful Great Lakes. You're listening to The Upswing. This is WTMJ.
Tell us a little bit about innovative signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
Get out and enjoy your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Save big money on the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing adds value to your home with superior wind and hail resistance. Choose from 29 beautiful colors, available in cut to your length panels for fast installation. View our entire selection of steel roofing today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other hot deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Lauren Bennett McKinney is the director of Explore Minnesota, also board chair of Great Lakes USA. Lauren joins us in studio this morning. Lauren's a Milwaukee native, actually. So it's good. How's it feel to be home, Lauren?
It always feels good to be home. Yeah, I always say I was almost born and raised in Minnesota, but my whole family is still here, so it's fun to be back.
What are your impressions of downtown Milwaukee? I know you haven't been here for a long time, but I always like to compare and contrast Minneapolis and Milwaukee. They're both really unique and wonderful in their own rights. But for someone that was here as a child and now back, what are your impressions of downtown Milwaukee?
Yeah, I mean, every time I come back to downtown, something's new, something's different. It's really fun. When we were out at the Discovery Center, it was really great to just see all the work that's been done down on the riverfront. And I think the differences are definitely that certainly you kind of have the big lake here, but we have a big river in our downtown.
Yes.
So those are similarities too. But I think there's this sort of lovely old world charm about downtown Milwaukee that is just really fun to see when you're walking around.
I love it. See, Minnesotans, Wisconsinites, we can all get along, right? We can play well together and collaborate. And, one way, obviously, that the states collaborate is around the Great Lakes. When you look at U.S. and Canada tourism strategy for the Great Lakes, what is that proposition from the Council of the Great Lakes region, and what does that look like? And has it been impacted with kind of recent political events at all?
So I think one of the really special things about Great Lakes USA and Cruise the Great Lakes is that we actually work really closely with Canadian partners along the border. It's a sort of a subgroup of the Great Lakes St. Lawrence governors and premiers. And we've been able to really have positive relationships, whether it's through cruising because we have to cross border in the middle of a lake or promoting the region. I think it's been really fun to be able to say, oh, you can visit two countries in one traveling experience. And we just really enjoy having those friendships and collaborative experiences with our Canadian neighbors.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, when you look at, the investment there, I think $500 million in terms of the impacts of the cruise industry. How do you work directly to incent more cruise lines to travel to our wonderful ports around the Great Lakes?
I think it's a combination of development, but also success. So we've had most of the cruise lines that book through the Great Lakes are totally booked every season, which is fantastic. And then you've got a lot of different points of turnaround or embarkment that are starting to kind of develop and build up. So even here in Milwaukee, we just heard that they got $5 million to be able to kind of finish building out the port and be able to host the boats right there. In Duluth in Minnesota, we finished our seawall. So now we can have people actually dock. And so it sounds a little complicated, but most of it's about development. And it's kind of, if you build it, people will come.
Yeah. How is the tactics and the strategies for international marketing changed from the tourism lens in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it's interesting when you look at the UK and Germany and Ireland, they still love going to different travel agents to book their travel. And so for us, it's really how do we connect with tour operators, travel agents to make sure that they know how to tell our stories and they have itineraries for people. But I will say for a lot of the guests that we get in our region, it's sort of their second or third visit to the United States. They want something a little different. They want to be able to drive. They've done maybe California and New York, and they want to go middle of the country. So we get sort of median age is a little bit older, but it's a group that's more interested in heritage, culture, and kind of a more unique experience.
Yeah. Are you finding that like the targeted digital advertising and working directly with the travel agents, are those the two best ways to reach the potential travelers?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, we're starting to see more and more people traveling for things like sporting events. American football has become really big in the UK and Germany too. And so being able to kind of capitalize on those types of activities has been great.
Very good. We're talking with Lauren Bennett McKinney from Explore Minnesota and Great Lakes USA. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone. Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Free look, high drive, deep right, way back. Noel's going to be a spectator on that one.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Diamondbacks Friday night at 8. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Is that coffee?
That's it. I'm getting 100 cups of coffee, starting now.
Time for a quick look at your coffee and how much it costs. It's the Upswing's Coffee Index.
Smells good.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I know it's approaching 11 a.m., but maybe you're going for that second cup of coffee, and we want to make sure, at least every 10 days or so, that we're updating prices in and around the area. So much talk about cocoa beans and coffee beans and cost explosions, but I'm really finding, at least at the local places, that the prices are remaining fairly steady. I went to my tried and true neighborhood Colectivo this morning. I just did my 12-ounce coffee. Whatever the blend of the day was, still sitting at $2.75 for that 12-ounce coffee from Colectivo. So the prices staying steady, but we're keeping an eye on them for you. So maybe today it's a good day to get that second cup of coffee because, it's still pretty affordable and it's good and good for you. Coffee, all the nutrients are packed right there for you. So get that second cup. All right, let's take a quick look at Oak Creek and the Buc-ee's Travel Center project. There are members from the Oak Creek Neighbors United Coalition that are considering legal action following last night's 5-1 Common Council votes that amended the 2020 Comprehensive Plan land use plan for 3 parcels to be rezoned right along South 27th Street there in Oak Creek to move forward this big Buc-ee's project development. And anytime you have neighborhood opposition of a big development project, you want to be mindful of all sides of the coin, right? It's really easy to make this residents versus development, neighbors versus moving the community forward with a huge development that, yes, will have impacts. But during the meeting last night, the group handed out flyers saying no to rezoning for Buc-ee's in Oak Creek. Flyers included information for a GoFundMe that's going to help cover legal fees. Already raised, I haven't checked it over break, but it's about $2,900 to cover $3,500 in legal fees to hire an attorney, actually in Shorewood, to cover some legal expenses to fight the project. Now, going through these type of things, I've been through many of these before. You want all sides. You want all sides to get to that win-win. And there's a lot of things that I think can be remedied. Maybe it's landscaping. Maybe it's taking care of some of the noise, some noise abatement. Maybe it's looking at some investments in some community projects in Oak Creek. The neighbors, yes, they have their concerns. But when you look at a project of this impact and this magnitude that will really be a tourism destination, of course, you want to be mindful of the impacts of the neighbors. But you got to look into their box and make sure that Buc-ee's is taking care of the community too. I think lawsuits like this can encourage healthy dialogue and get to the point where, hey, let's find some win-win in this development for everyone. Coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News. But first, let's do some more business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business